So again, we just concluded that the mean cholesterol level for the patients who had had heart attacks was higher than the mean cholesterol level for all of the healthy patients. So again, a natural follow-up question would be how much higher? And we can answer that by computing a confidence interval for mu1 minus mu2. So in example 9.3.2, we've got the same story as the last example, except for now we're asked to find a 99% confidence interval for the difference in these means. So again, for a confidence interval, we're going to follow through the acronym PANIC for 5 steps. And again, some of these we've already done. So the parameters are still the same as they were in the previous problem. So mu1 is still going to be the mean cholesterol level of all patients who had a heart attack, and mu2 will be the mean cholesterol level of all healthy patients. And we're going to get information about those parameters from the random variables x bar 1 and x bar 2. So x bar 1 is going to be the mean cholesterol level of 28 randomly selected patients. So we have one of those groups here that will get a value of x bar 1, but we need to keep in mind it's a random variable that will vary from one group of 28 patients to another. And then our x bar 2 is going to be the mean cholesterol level of 30 randomly selected healthy patients. And again, that's going to vary from one group of 30 healthy patients to another. The second step is to check the assumptions, but they're the same assumptions that we already checked in the last example. And so in this case, since we want a confidence interval, we are going to run the 2-sample t interval. All right, so our fourth step now is to find that confidence interval along with the point estimate for that interval. And again, we're going to use technology, whether you use the TI-84, you would need to first put data into L1 and L2 to use the 2-sample t interval in the stat test menu. Or again, we can also go to StatCrunch and use t-test, 2 samples, and again with data, where again you would have had to upload those 2 lists of data first. All right, so the setup for the 2-sample t interval on the calculator, again, we have data, so we would highlight data and tell it the 2 lists we put that data in. Our confidence level this time is 99%, so we want to enter a 0.99 here. And again, the default for pooled is no, and we're not going to change that for this intro course. So on the output screen here, again, we have a confidence interval here for mu1 minus mu2. And then again, we have our sample results here as well. Okay, so no matter what technology we use, again, we're going to get this difference in the sample means, x bar 1 minus x bar 2. Okay, again, on the TI-84, it gives the separate ones that we would need to subtract, or on StatCrunch, it already computes that difference from those 2 sample means for us. Okay, so that difference here, we're going to get the same as the last example, 60.795. 238, and again we need milligrams per deciliter. And so our 99% confidence interval for, and our parameter now is mu1 minus mu2, is, so we're going to have one endpoint was 33. If we round off, about 96. And our upper endpoint, if we round off, is about 87.63. So again, we are looking at differences. Both of these endpoints are positive, so that tells us that mu1 is bigger than mu2 by an amount in this interval. Okay, so we are 99% confident that mu1, so that is the mean cholesterol level of all patients who had heart attacks, is between 33.96 milligrams per deciliter and 87.63 milligrams per deciliter more than. And again, we're subtracting and making a comparison between the groups. And again, both endpoints are positive, which tells us mu1 is bigger than mu2 by an amount in this interval. So more than the mean, so mu2, the mean cholesterol level of all healthy patients. Now again, had you entered the data for the healthy patients into L1 and the data for patients who had had heart attacks into L2, okay, that would be perfectly fine. Okay, your interval would have come out the same numbers, only we would have had negative endpoints here. So from this, we could conclude that we are 99% confident that the mean cholesterol level for all healthy patients is between all right, so I have a mistake in these numbers that we're going to get rid of here. These should be the same numbers we had up above. So this one should have been between, all right, so this one, our endpoints here should have been negative 87.63 and negative 33.96. All right, so from this we would conclude that we are 99% confident that the mean cholesterol level for all healthy patients is between 33.96 milligrams per deciliter and 87.63 milligrams per deciliter. Okay, so again, these are not negative numbers, so the negatives in the interval are taken care of with the words lower than or less than. So lower than the mean cholesterol level for all patients who had heart attacks. Okay, so in the first instance up here where we had a positive interval, we were saying that the cholesterol level for the heart attack patients was more than the healthy ones. The other way around, we just say that the cholesterol level for the healthy patients is less than that of the heart attack patients. So again, once we include the context, both of these sentences are saying the exact same thing. So once again, we see that even though the signs of the endpoints have changed, the meaning in the context of the problem has not.